What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex G alongside Mal, and this is the A Couple of Things podcast where we're here to talk about a couple of things. No intro. Let's get right into it.
I don't even know what we're talking about today.
So just to
Well, you know
follow,
what? I actually do have an idea of a topic, but you could start.
so to follow up on our last episode for those that watched it. So we were talking about Kamala Harris and her blackness. Now, obviously, I didn't talk a ton in that video. I saw some people comment to that. So the thing about it is I hate the whole diaspora conversations and what is like the black anything black related. I really honestly hate talking about them. But I do want to be perfectly clear about this. So this is not a debatable topic. So I know a lot of people like to debate facts, which you shouldn't be debating facts.
Yeah.
But to just regurgitate the information, when people are speaking about blackness and what defines being black in this country and how we have defined black, or what was previously described as the American Negro or the Negro, all of these different interchangeable terms, what people are talking about is people that are descendants of slavery. So that in this country, at least,
Yeah.
is what
So
slavery.
their
Let me
argument, I'm
finish.
saying their argument was always like, oh, we all descended from slaves, right? But we're saying specifically United States,
So
right? Yeah.
I,
I'm letting you talk,
I'm
but
working.
podcasting is conversational.
I'm
I'm letting
working.
you talk, but that's like the point of podcasting.
Right. I'm working.
I'm just kind of weird.
So that is what people, that's what, at least in this country, when we're talking about it, that's what we're defining it as. So there's not a debatable part about her being Indian and Jamaican and how that translates into being black. It's just the fact of the matter is that she's not in the way that we define it here. How other people want to define it, that's whatever, right? When you go ask somebody that's Jamaican or Haitian or anywhere in the Caribbean, if they're from St. Lucia, Antigua, if you ask any of those people what they are, they're never going to tell you and lead with I'm black. They're going to always tell you where they're from before they tell you what their actual race or ethnicity is. They're going to tell you I'm Jamaican, because they want to separate themselves. So me, feel free, separate yourselves, and then don't claim blackness after the fact, right? So if you're going to tell me and you're going to lead with where you're from, if somebody asks me what am I don't say American, right?
Yeah.
I say I'm black because that's what I am. So people want to separate themselves, and again, it's not to start no diaspora wars because that's not what I'm into, but they're not in the way that we define it here. So there's no debate about her blackness. Like she's not. She's Indian and she's Jamaican,
Yeah.
right? So that's not a debatable point.
And racially, she's half black.
Right. So
Half.
in addition to that, she made her claim to fame imprisoning people that are black. Like that's just what it was out in California. That's how she became what she is today. That's a fact. Now, I'm not one of the people that is going to sit here and say that she was like planting evidence on people and was imprisoning innocent people.
And people are inflating numbers like, oh, it's thousands. Like, I think it was like 45. Somebody had a
Right.
specific number, right? So we're not going to inflate
Yeah,
the facts.
she didn't imprison every black person in America, and
Yeah.
she didn't plant evidence and imprison innocent people. She didn't do any of that. But at the same time, she's done more with imprisoning people than she's done for the black community, right? Even going to a HBCU, even though she's not black, she's benefited off of that university in itself. And she hasn't done anything for anybody in the community since, right? So when
And sorry, not to, and to add to like in California, like, you know, due to mass the migration, the Great Migration, those are like a lot of Black Americans in those communities. Like it's not like a lot of immigrants that were being affected by those arrests that, you know, that she was doing, right? Like it's a lot of our people, because in this country, a lot of us are just impoverished because of all the stuff we went through in this country, rooting from slavery. So the people that were being affected by like what she was doing in California were more than likely descendants of slavery in America who got there through the Great Migration.
right, and that was her job.
And that's why I'm only adding that because it's like we're the ones being affected, like our community's being affected by it. But now we're also supposed to be in open arms with her blackness and let her just use rappers and our culture as at the forefront of her campaign instead of using Jamaican culture. Because why is she using Black American culture, not Jamaican? Like, yeah, she's black racially, but why is she not using her culture? Why is she using our culture? So yeah, that was just adding my 2 cents.
So she's done more for imprisoning people that are black than she's done to support people that are black, right? So there's that part as well. When it comes to the reparations conversation as well, and this is to quote Dr. Umar, and this is not a sponsorship of Dr. Umar or any of his beliefs,
Because I'm
but
actually not a fan of him.
he does he did provide facts, which I agree with, right? When they brought up reparations to her, her comments were, we can't put forth any litigation for people that are of a specific ethnic group or race. Meanwhile, the country has only done that a million times. Like, right, like the Native Americans have got their legislation in place. They've got their reservations,
That's the Asians got a bill.
right. Then the reservations would never be enough. The Native Americans were done probably the most filthy out of anybody historically in the history of humanity. The Asian bill, Asian hate crime bill, where we had commercials and everything else, and they put forth legislation for people that are Asian American.
Which that went into effect after she made those comments about the reparations.
Right.
She was up there clapping because she's Southeast Asian descent as an Indian.
And also, we know that there were Asian people that were in prison during World War II, and that whole thing. So that in a way, that kind of tried to help that situation and everything that happened there when they were imprisoning Japanese people in America. 3, we also have legislation being put in place for migrants, right? So people that aren't even from America.
And we live in New Jersey or outside New York, so we see the impact. Like work in New York City, so we see the impact of these laws. Like, meanwhile, our people are being like on the short end of the stick.
Right.
People who've been here and built this country.
Then we also have legislation in place for Jewish people as well, commercials and everything else with hate crimes and everything else. So there's no way that she can say that that we can't give reparations or put laws in place for a specific group when it's black people, but this country has only ever tried to, at least in some cases, do that with other groups. So it can't be once it gets to black people, now all of a sudden we can't do that, whereas this has been done before. And she should know that as somebody that's a part of the law making process, is involved with the law itself and politics. She should be aware of that concept.
Especially from California. Because California, out of all the states right now that are pushing that reparations, like if we are to see it in our lifetime, the Californians are going to definitely for sure get it in our lifetime if we see it happen, because they're really far along in the process. So her coming from that state and knowing that probably, and then still try to play, is crazy.
Right. So, and because we would assume, because she wouldn't be on the list of people to get them, that's probably why she doesn't want to push it, because she is, again, Indian and Jamaican. She doesn't have any entitlement, no claim, because she's not from here.
Yeah, whoever owns Jamaica, go talk to them. I think who colonized Jamaica?
Who didn't?
True. But that's the thing, like, because people always swear they all, like, oh, we all should get reparations from the United States. Like, no, you get reparations from the country that colonized your people. Like, no, just because you're black living in America doesn't mean you're entitled to reparations if we do get them.
Correct.
Like, that's not how it works. Like, that's crazy to think that. Like, you could just take that from another group.
Correct.
And put your hands out. And she, like you said, she won't benefit from that. So why would she push that? But she's supposed to represent me as a black woman. But she literally, there's nothing that ties us except we're in the same sorority. We're not the same, and we share the same, like, maybe common ancestor back in Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago, right? But other than that, we're not the same. Like, I see myself in her at all. Like, there's nothing that ties me to her. We don't have the same culture. So, I'm just supposed to support her because she's half black racially.
Right.
But she won't push anything for me. Anything that I would need as a black woman in this country, she's not fighting for. As a black American woman, I shouldn't say. She's not fighting for it. But I'm supposed to just automatically just like her because she's a black woman.
And in addition to that, because I know some people were like upset about questioning her blackness, which we should do, but at the same time, it's not just about the whole conversation was not about how black she is, right?
Yeah.
We're not having an ethnicity war. It's about what is she for black people, right? Another point that kind of proves that she's not is that when she just had her rally wherever the fuck it was.
Atlanta.
It was, well, yeah, that makes sense.
And people were trying to say that's why she did it, because she's trying to lean into the demographic there. But for me, this seems disingenuous. I don't care. And but people, like, black people love to freaking, like, applaud a fish for swimming. But, like, why do you want, like, oh, she's just trying to tap into the Atlanta, like, and you think that's funny, like, so let's have somebody twerking so these niggas here can understand, so they could pay attention, like, that almost is an insult.
Yeah, right. Don't insult my intelligence. Don't insult my intelligence and have a rapper on stage talking about body yada yada yada, right?
Yeah, and then be like, oh, like Quavo walking, like she's trying. It's almost like she's talking to you like
It's
you're a
pandering.
kid.
You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's pandering. It's almost like she's talking to me like there's a certain word that we can't say anymore, but she's talking to us like we're a certain type of way that's not politically correct to say anymore, and it's offensive, right? So I know how everybody else is. I'm a well educated. There's 4 degrees sitting in here talking in front of you, so we're well educated. So when somebody puts a rapper or an entertainer in my face to try to talk politics, right? Like I'm not gonna sit there and play those type of games.
Like I was in AP Government and Politics in high school. Like I don't need a Meg Thee Stallion to get me interested in the policies.
Right.
Like
People talking more about the performances than with
Yeah.
the actual policies, right?
Yeah.
I know more about Donald Trump's policies, and this is not a sponsorship of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm voting for Donald Trump, and I'm not saying I'm voting for Kamala here. But what I'm saying is that don't insult me. Don't try to pull up to Atlanta and now like we're gonna go to the strip club next in Atlanta
Yeah,
because,
right.
to try to get black people. Like, so don't. It's insulting, to be honest, and
Yeah.
I get it, right? Like you're trying to get the viewership of young adults and try to get their vote, right? But to me, somebody that would be truly for black people would not be in the business of trying to on like some of the biggest stages and the most publicity you can get, try to pull in entertainers to try to secure a vote as
Yeah.
opposed to really doing something
like
in the
you
community.
think that's the way to get to us is through our entertainers. Like
Right.
that's almost insulting because it's like, yeah, it's like entertainment is a big part of our culture, right? Like I'm not gonna act like it's not, but it almost seems like anytime any of these politicians need our vote, like that's the route they go through. It's like
Right.
through our entertainers, and that's why like I hate when people are so simple minded that they feel like when you're criticizing Democrats that means automatically you're voting for.
No, I'm not
Republicans.
saying
Like,
that.
it's two things can be true. Like you could vote for the lesser of the two evils or whatever people want to say and still criticize. Like why are you just gonna let one side slide when the stuff they're doing is very nefarious. It's very disrespectful. It's very like crazy.
What'd you say?
Yeah, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. And people voted for him. Like people like I mean,
What y'all do?
I voted for him. I'm not, I'm a
What y'all do? Hold on, let
but
me-
that's not why I voted for him.
I wish I could get up and tap dance right now. 'Cause what y'all did? Y'all tap dance right to them
And like,
to them pools.
how did that just get swept under the rug? Like,
Yeah,
it's
you
the
have
fact
a white
that-
man
it's the
telling
fact
you
that
how black
said,
you are.
and it's not even like he said like, oh, if you don't vote for me, you're not. But like, he said ain't. Like he threw the ain't in there. Like it's almost like he's literally laughing in our faces, and people
Yeah.
ate it up. Like it's
Yeah.
insane to me.
Don't throw a rapper
They
in front of
literally
my
are
face.
doing it in our faces, and they still are thinking like they're still supporting it, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think people think because being for black people does not mean this would be one of those things. It's not so much. It's not so much like I'm saying, okay, you didn't donate $500 million to the black community, so you're not for black people. It's things like that are detrimental to the community, right? Like you're putting entertainers in politics, and it's turning it into a popularity contest, and it's pandering, and I don't like anything about that because that's no different than what the other side does either, right?
Literally, it's the
So
same
and it's not
exact thing.
and it's not necessarily. I mean, in later times, yeah, the Democrats, I feel like that's been like a specific thing that they try to do. They try to tap into like when they go to the black communities
And the
it's
Black
just-
Lives Matter stuff, like
yeah, they lean so far into it.
and wasn't like they eat like Kamala was eating like chicken and waffles or something. Like it's just very weird. It's like
Yeah.
I'm looking at me eating fried chicken. Like why is there a photo shoot of you eating fried chicken? Like what that's what made people like, yes, she's for the people. She's just
And-
like us. Like
And people do that, right? Because what they're doing is working. It's
is.
going to work
for the
and-
simple-minded,
right?
and which
and
unfortunately is the
most
majority of
us-
this population.
right.
Yeah,
and it's
And
going to
it's
work.
sad. There's just nothing we can
It's
do.
going to continue to work, but don't sit in my face and insult me saying that you're not going to support reparations for the black community and black Americans,
Yeah.
which are due and owed,
Yeah.
right?
But then you're gonna talk about how you make collard greens in the bathtub, which is our culture,
right.
Like eating
It's-
fried chicken, which is a Black American culture. It's not Jamaican.
It's kind of the same thing like what we talked about, which has become our biggest video so far, has been like with Kai saying that black people have no culture, while meanwhile became
Benefiting.
a multimillionaire off of the culture. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the same thing, right? Like
Delusional.
you don't deserve to be paid for what is owed to you and what was taken away from you, but I'm gonna come into your community and put your cultural icons on a stage, eat your cultural foods.
Buy records. Like
Yeah.
she's buying records like recently. Look, I brought this record. Like from
and then
our artists,
and then
from the past.
turn around and say that people that were impacted in redlining and all of the other in Jim Crow and all of the other things that have been so detrimental to the community, and why most of us are impoverished in this community anyway, and say that you don't even deserve to be paid back what's owed to you. That's what she's saying on these stages, right? So
Yeah, she
to
tried to
me,
say it in a nice way. Like she the way she deferred from it is so like crazy.
and why is she even deferring from it?
Yeah.
Like, why would you? Because for me,
Like you should want to be fighting for that. Like
Right,
if
I'm
you
so-
really care for this group of people that you're pushing for votes for and that you're trying to claim like half of, you should want to do those things.
because I'm principled, right? It's not so much like we divide so much against color and all that, but for me, even if I'm not a part of certain ethnic groups, I'm in support of everybody that's do shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a part of the part that's important with traveling too, because whenever that was, when was that? 2021,
What?
when I went out to the West Coast.
That was
2021.
2020. Yeah.
And that's the importance of traveling, because when I'm out there and I'm on these Native American reservations, I'm seeing that the people that are remaining, I'm like, the reservations aren't even enough. Like, this is horrible conditions people are living in.
Yeah, Native Americans literally got shitted on horribly by this country, and it was like a slap in the face. Like, here you go, here's some land.
And here's some casinos for you to
Yeah.
run. Like, I would be the first in line to support them getting the things that they're owed. So just because she's not from here, like in the sense of from our ethnic group.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how people define it.
No, like she's not from.
But
She's not from our ethnic group. Our ethnic group is Black American, which is
Okay.
everybody who descended from
But
slaves
racially
in the
she's
United
Black.
States. But racially, she's Black. Ethnically, she's Jamaican, Indian American.
Okay, gotcha.
Nationally, she's American.
Even if that's the case, that she's not a part of this group, she can still be in support of it, because I am not from other groups.
And she should be supportive of it because how much she benefited from living here. Like she went to HBCU, she joined a Black sorority, which the reason why AK was even founded was because of the stuff we were going through in this country. Like we needed our own space. You benefited so much from all the things in this country. We moved here because of the civil rights bills and stuff, and like the push for immigration that our people were on those streets marching for, you know. And then now you're not gonna want to support those same people who literally open their arms to you and are fighting on the internet right now. Literally, our people are fighting on the internet to claim her, and she's still don't even want to help.
Yeah, because the people from the
What?
islands, and I know I'm generalizing because not everybody's this way, but most of them do not associate themselves with us.
And we're seeing that in real time because Sha'Carri unfortunately came second today. And the way that they're literally still separating themselves online and talking crazy about us, talking crazy about Sha'Carri. Like, what did she do to you guys that you guys hate her so much? Like, it's, like we said, I'm not generalizing because I have plenty of Caribbean friends who are not like that. But it's like, there's definitely a lot of like, animosity and hatred with them for some reason. I think white people did their big one because they're the ones who kind of caused that divide between all of us, but it's definitely something there with them.
Yeah.
With some of them.
They all want to be separated, so let them be separated.
They want to be separated until it's beneficial not to be separated.
Yeah.
And then they want to flat blackness. Like the people on Twitter are like, oh, why Black people want to separate themselves? And you go on their page and there's a Haiti flag in your bio. Like, are you not separating yourself by putting that flag in your bio? Like, you want people to know that you're Haitian. You're representing that. But when a Black American wants to separate ourselves, oh, we're all Black. You think the police officers know that you're Black American? Then take the flag out of your bio. Then why are you separating yourself then? It's just they just don't want us doing it. That's all. Because they realize that they're not really a part of something like they thought they were.
I think it's because
They think that anybody could just be born into an ethnicity. Like they were saying, because Kamala went to HBCU, that's the Black experience. So she's Black. She has a Black American claim. What? So anybody could just go to HBCU for 4 years and come out as a Black
Right.
American. Like
I think
it's not. Sorry, not to interrupt, but it's
No,
like we're not.
interrupt.
We're not like they think our ethnicity is like a club or a group you could just sign up for. And if just by living here and having Black skin, like it's crazy. Even if being born here, that doesn't mean nothing. If your parents are not from here, if your great grandparents are not from here, if that's not the culture that's in your house, you're not us. Like that's okay. You could still be a guest in the culture and still enjoy it, but don't try to take claim. That's it.
I think. I mean, I don't want to get into the diaspora war thing, but I think a lot of it has to do with the disdain of no group is more popular in terms of their influence than Black Americans.
And we're the newest group of the Black diaspora. And
You take
the
Meg,
most influential.
you take Meg, right? Like people in Japan now playing like they. We don't need to get into
Yeah.
it, but you get what I mean, right? So there's just some clarification, right? So I'm not in the business of trying to debate how Black or not somebody is. these for the most part, that's not even a debate. Things are just factual. There's no necessarily a gray area there.
Yeah.
But these are the things what I'm talking about, that she's not for black people, is that there's no significant impact she's had. She hasn't been in the community, and she panders, and she's not actually black in our terms, in our definition, the way that we define it. She's not a descendant of slavery, so why would she be in support of the communities that are impacted the most, but because of slavery and Jim Crow and all these other areas? And not to say that there's not immigrants that deal with those things too, but there is a difference between being forced in these conditions versus voluntarily coming over in these conditions. So to put that out there, and that's just an explanation. I'm not going to go back. We obviously haven't commented on any of the things that people have left on those videos.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the comments. So
because personally, for me, when I'm giving my opinion, I like to get paid for my opinion. So I'd rather put it on my platform and, of course, generate some income from it. So I'd rather do that than to actually go back and forth with people that are ignorant and then don't have any idea truly what they're talking about, right? And this is,
that's
again,
the thing. Like, I'm picking peace this time around. I usually always be in there fighting.
it's not even a piece.
We're not saying anything debatable. That's the thing. Like, nothing is debatable. Like, we're speaking straight facts. Like, you can't debate ethnicities. You can't debate any of that stuff. Like, you can't. So if you guys are talking to yourselves in the comments. Anybody who has anything to say, I have not looked at a single one. I do not care.
And we pulled up the clip with Malcolm X, and he said exactly what was going to happen, and this is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
He said they're going to put those entertainers in front of you, comedians and everything else to put in front of you, and try to use those pawns to make it seem like to gain their political power, just to not even help you once they're in office, like Obama.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, our it's not even like our people. It's like, it's a lot of people. Like, people are just lost because, like, somebody even made a point online. Like, they said the average person doesn't even, like, can't even read above like a third grade level or something. Like, that's why, like, even the people that be in our comments, like, you got to remember who, like, law of averages, who is commenting, who you're arguing with. That's why, like, last time I got to ground myself. I'm like, I know I'm literally a small percentage in this world and in this country of, like, income, education. Like, 9% of people have master's degrees, right? Like, I got mine when I was 22 years old, and I don't know if that's all people or just black people, but it's like I gotta remind myself, I'm a small percentage of the population, and a lot of people are just very dumb. Like, it's unfortunate. They are, and that's why they fall for these things. Like, so it's like you're almost talking to a wall when you're trying to reason with these people, because their brain capacity is just not vast enough to even understand what you're saying. Like,
I wish I had my soundboard, because really, let's break it down, right? Because when people come in these videos, obviously you guys don't know us. We do have a good amount of people that are returning viewers. So shout out to y'all that have been supporting us so far. We appreciate you. And I've seen the people in the comments that I've seen before. So appreciate everybody, whether it's positive, negative.
yeah,
We like to start a conversation, right? As long as everybody's respectful. But let's be completely honest. We are in the top 1% of people in the world, income wise. Top 10% at least. I have to check the numbers because I just got like an extra 5 figures and salary increase. So I have to run the numbers and check to see where I am in this country, but it's top 10.
Like, this is
education wise,
6-figure earners, like 6 figures. I'm a 6-figure earner. He's a 6-figure earner. So
education wise, and I could throw all these accolades. Like I said before, there's 4 degrees between the both of us, and I could throw all these accolades, degrees. People like Kanye said, people be going to school and still be stupid.
Yeah,
we're not.
They don't always mean everything,
right? We don't. We're not one of those people.
Yeah.
So we're some of the most well-educated people in the country, the highest earning. I mean, in the world.
In the world, yeah.
And then also some of the highest earners in the world. So there's more intellectual thought behind our comments as opposed to a lot of people that comment on our videos or just having these conversations in general on social media.
And to add too, like, we live in New York and Jersey, so we are exposed to a lot, because I feel like a lot of ignorant people live in very small windows of this country and this world. We literally live in like probably one of the most diverse regions, so we are exposed to so many different backgrounds, different people. We travel a lot, so like we've been to 10 countries together. Number 11 is coming in September to France, so it was like.
I've also been to most of the country. I've been to
like
46. 40. No, it's not 46. Nah, it's like 43 states. 43, okay. I think the 7 I'm missing are like Hawaii, Alaska, South Dakota, Wyoming, Oregon, Utah, and.
You said Hawaii?
Yeah, and Alaska. I think there's one more. I said those. And there's probably like one more. So in terms of the country, I've been to most of my country, right? Like, that's a lot.
Sound like you're just speaking out of the blue. Like you're literally speaking from actual like exposure
Right. I've
to the
seen.
people.
I've been to, yeah, I've traveled more than most people will ever in their lifetime. And not just that, when I do travel to these places, I do go to the worst parts of these places. Like,
Yeah.
it's best to get your ideas and thoughts about the country and when you expand your horizons, and not just that, go to the best parts. Because when people travel, right, they go to, when you go to Florida, where you're going to go? You're going to go to Orlando and you're going to go to Miami, right? Let's go to the hood, right? Let's go to these other places. When you go to Arkansas or Mississippi, like, go to the big cities, but then also travel outside of that. When I go to Detroit, you actually go to the hoods. Like, you get to actually um, get to see how people are living and understand and talk to random people. And even out in Colorado, talking to people that just live in the mountains and then don't have like, there's no Walmart, right? There's no expanse of wealth or anything necessarily in some of these places. So you get to talk and understand these people's experiences, where they're from. Like,
Even when we go overseas, we do that. Like
even,
in Dubai, we didn't just go to like the ritzy part. We went to old Dubai.
yeah.
We sat in that culture center and like ate the food, and the guy was telling us stuff. Like people were asking questions. Like we didn't just go to the city part, like where everybody else goes. You know, I feel like we do that a lot. Even like in Bali, right? Like I feel like we kind of like go to like
The temples,
the
always get a
temples.
cultural
We
experience.
don't just we didn't just go to that hotel in Bali with the pool and eat the breakfast in the water. Like we was at all the temples. We like we did a lot. So
Yeah. So just to give some context as to who people are speaking to, and I don't
we're
make
not
this
talking
mistake
to no
because I know
dummies.
how rare of a life experience this is, and because of course we know people that will never have these experiences either.
Yeah.
So,
But like, do the Carfax before you start talking. Like, just
but
had the girl on Twitter who was like, arguing with me, talking about, "Oh, I'm surprised you spelled Jamaica right. Like, I know you guys aren't good at geography." I'm like,
we,
girl,
we were sipping rum punches all in
like
Jamaica.
what? And I like don't even like you don't know me. Like, I've been to so many countries. I've been to like I think 15, 16 countries altogether. Like, my first country I went to, I was 3, 4 years old. Like, don't. And I show me a road map right now. I could like I'm good at that stuff. Like I know all the flags. I be on most of it. And if I don't know, I try to learn. Right? Like that. Like I'm sitting here in the Olympics. Like what flag is that? I think that's this. And I'm right. You know, like you don't know me. And I know like most people are ignorant, like you just said. So I get it. But do your Carfax. And that's why we we letting you know. Like you're not just talking to no regular dummies. Like we cover the grounds and everything. So when we speak, we're speaking from our education, but we're also speaking from our experience. Like we seen things, we're exposed to things, and like we're gonna continue doing that. Like developing our knowledge and like even when we go to France next month, we're not just going to Paris. Like we're going all around. We're going to that Riquier town, like that Beauty and the Beast was inspired by. Like we don't just do no regular trips. Like and just do the tourist spots. Like we be exposed to like the culture and the people. So we're not just like check who you're talking to. Like do the research before you like talk crazy to us. Cause like we're not no stupid idiots. Like we're not. So
Speaking of France,
yeah, Paris
it is the Olympics.
And we didn't plan the trip around the Olympics. This is my birthday, and I've went to France in 2017 but for only a day. And I wanted to go back. Like we're kind of like we did a lot of like warm vacations, so we kind of want to do more city stuff. Like we like streetwear, we like fashion, so I feel like France is a good shift for us to start our European run. You know, so it's just a coincidence that we're going right after the Olympics, and I'm actually hoping the Olympic stuff is taken down by then because I don't want that in the pictures. Like
Yeah,
I
it'll
don't
be
want
done.
I don't want the rings on the Eiffel Tower. I don't want the Paralympic symbol on the Arc de Triomphe. Like no, I want my pictures to be take all that down. It should be right. We're going to end of September, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So speaking of France, obviously Simone Biles is the GOAT. She continues to dominate in women's gymnastics.
Yeah.
Of
She
course,
has
we got
9 altogether medals.
nine
I think
medals.
5 of them are gold. 6.
These are obviously impressive numbers. But of course, because of her success, it brought up Jonathan Owens again as being a debatable topic. And if you're listening at this point, I'm sure people have known already that Jonathan Owens did an interview and he was talking about Simone and saying that he wasn't aware of who she was when they first connected. Obviously now he's more than well aware.
Yeah.
But at the time, he felt like he was the prize in the relationship. Now, I'm going to take over this part in the beginning. So let me cook and address this. And this is not necessarily coming from a place of bias as a man myself, but this is facts. And, facts can't be debated.
Facts here.
We work with facts.
Not emotions.
So First fact: Simone Biles stated herself, so again, this can't be debated, that the first time that she met him, that she said she was going to marry him. Right? Can't be debated. She's saying that this is what happened. This is a fact. Now, if Jonathan Owens' reply is that he feels that he's the prize, why should he not feel that way if the person that was pursuing him stated that the first time that she met him that she wanted to marry him? To me, I feel like if I'm pursuing somebody and I want to marry them, then how the fuck logically does that make them not the prize, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a debate, right? This is coming out of her mouth. Just because women are women and we love women and women are beautiful and pretty much everything amazing about life is because of women, does not also mean that every woman is a prize in every relationship. That's not the case, right? Because women are always saying, I need a guy. What's the song? I need a man in finance, blue eyes, tall, all that.
Strong to protect me, take care of me. That sounds like a prize.
That sounds like a prize to me. It looks like you're trying to win something specific, right?
You're fiending too. Like, you're not just mourning it, you're fiending.
So to me, personally, using logic, I don't see how that's not the case. And that would be the same on the opposite side for a man. If you're looking for a woman that has a certain type of face or body or whatever you're looking for, men don't tend to care about what women do as a career. But whatever it is that the man is looking for characteristically about a woman, it would be the same thing.
Yeah.
So that would be their prize, right?
Yeah.
So if he's stating that he felt like he was a prize because somebody that met them the first time said that they wanted to marry them, and I'm not saying that she said that to his face because that's not what she said, but
I'm
she
sure
felt that way.
And I'm sure he could tell. I'm sure he could read, oh yeah, like she wants me. Like,
right.
She, you know.
What the fuck is the problem about thinking that you were the prize in that scenario? I don't understand it.
Because women are, you like angry.
Not everything revolves around women and
they have no concept that a man can also be a prize, and that is a prize. They are her prize.
They are. Men are probably more of a prize than women just off the fact that,
like, financially, like taking care, like everybody wants a provider and for them to take care of it,
So
but that's not a prize to you. When only a small percentage of the population could even do that for another woman, like there's not many men that can actually do that and take care of the whole house and financially do that, because economics will show you like people don't make money like that.
Not only they are prize,
so how's that not a prize if only a small percentage of people could do that?
Not only they're a prize, you might have damn near hit the lottery, depending on who it is.
Like literally.
Seriously,
like think about how many women are living like peaceful lives, don't have to worry about a single thing because they got the 1% of the population who could do that for them. That's not a prize to you? Like that's a small percentage of people.
Like you have your own shit, so I'm not even putting this on you. But me, I'm in the top, like it's definitely at least top 5% of black people in this country.
Like when I see what people are going through, like a lot of like relationships and a lot of men out here and like just people in the dating scene, I would say like, yes, I am with somebody who's up there and that you are a prize. Like anybody will want to this situation. Statistically,
from a financial standpoint, I'm more of a prize than you are a prize than me.
I would say so.
No, it's a fact because there's more black women with money than there is black men with money.
And there's more educated black women than educated black men. Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And I'm both.
Yeah.
Both of them.
And like I have no problem saying that. Like I don't get why women like it hurts them to admit that a man is like a prize. But like, it's like crazy.
But I'm not saying that overall that I'm a prize and you're not. But when you look at certain aspects of it, then if you look at black men in this country, I would be considered the top tier of black men in this country, at least financially.
Like you are a prize and I am a prize. And I feel like it's two things can be true. Like why people act like that's not the case.
Right.
Especially with Jonathan Owens. Like people are saying that about him, but like where's your NFL husband?
Right. Because
where's your millionaire husband?
In his situation when they met.
And he's good looking. Like it's not like he's ugly. Like
right.
So I don't get why people like are being delusional.
And in his situation, he probably had more money than her too.
At the time.
At the time. Now.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe because she dropped out the Olympics. She wasn't. Yeah.
I mean, I think she's up, and it's not even a pocket watching thing. Who gives a fuck how much they make? It doesn't matter. They make more than you, so that's the thing. That's really all that matters at the end of the day, right? So if he viewed himself that way, I don't think that that's an issue, right? Mm-hmm. If somebody's being pursued, if they are the prey, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, then yeah, they should be viewed as the prize because common sense. Now, if he said he didn't know who she is, I don't think that's crazy either, right? Because people don't necessarily, you couldn't tell me the top male gymnast
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me that, like, I mean, I don't know how much people are watching some of these other sports, and I know gymnastics is extremely popular, but it's not that far fetched that people that play a professional sport first and foremost are even tuned in to the Olympics.
And I don't think people realize too, but someone try to like emphasize is like he's like as long as she's been famous, he's been in football. Like whether it was in like in college first, and then now in professional. So during the time of the summer Olympics, that literally goes like hand in hand with their training seasons. And college probably starts a little bit earlier than NFL because like their school starts earlier.
Yeah, people don't know the life of an athlete.
Yeah, like these people are like he's working for his dreams and goals. He might not even have time to watch TV, like or be tuned into social media. Like he literally is probably at training camp day in and day out. And literally Simone just is reaching a level of like superstardom. Like she dropped out the Tokyo Olympics, like so she's just now really pushing through that roof. Like everybody knows her. Like she's not as decorated as she was when they first met as she is now. So it's not far fetched. Like, I don't know why people think he would lie about that. Like what did he gain about lying about
Yeah,
that?
there was nothing to gain about saying that he didn't know her. If anything, it would have been more of a story. It would have been more popping for him to say, "Oh yeah, I knew about her and I wanted her," and blah blah. Like you know how women fantasize about like the relationships and oh my god, because if he said that, oh my god, I love them and blah blah blah. He knows
but in
that.
their mind, oh, he's trying to humble her. What?
It's like what? No.
Humble her.
No.
What are you talking about? Like.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this segment really is about all of the delusional women that first and foremost can't be in a stable relationship to save their lives. If you're single, you're not even allowed to have a conversation
It's
about
always
this.
an unmarried, not even in a relationship that's talking down. Like I noticed that every single time. That's why even Simone called out one of them on TikTok and said like you guys are miserable. Like and the girl looks weird. She's weird looking. All she does is talk about hating men. She's just like the girl who was talking smack. I forgot her name, but I don't want to like call her out.
What's her name? It's start with an L?
No, it starts with a K.
With a K?
Yeah.
Was it Kaya? Kia?
Something like that. Kiera or something.
Kiera, yeah. It was Kiera, yeah. Her.
No offense, not the cutest woman in the world. So it's like it's always like the people that fit the bill of like the man-hating, miserable woman trying to pretend they're caping for Simone when you're really just because she told you to stop doing that. Like she said, please stop. Like stop talking about marriage. So you're not doing it for her because if you were, then you would respect her first and foremost. You don't respect women. Like you don't respect women. That's the funny part. You're not even respecting a woman enough to respect what she asks of you because you still just want to talk shit about her. Man, you hate men that much that you're disrespecting a woman. Like
because
let that sink in. Like,
I think because for some reason they view themselves as being Simone, and they're not Simone.
They're projecting. Yeah, you're not Simone. You'll never be.
Like you work at Foot Locker. You're not a multi-gold medalist in the Olympics. Your partner, first of all, they're married. First of all,
yeah, beautiful wedding.
Your partner is not a multi-millionaire athlete, one of the top like 400 people in the sport.
And then they try to humble him. Oh, I don't even know who he is. Well, who are you?
Who's your man?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Work at the Piggly Wiggly.
Like delusional.
It's delusional. It's like leave it alone. Like if she's happy. He didn't say anything crazy, and people's perception of it is just wrong. She didn't check him on social media. She didn't say anything about it. She probably feels the way that he feels, and their marriage seems to be amazing.
Yeah.
Let that be what it is, right? He negotiated in his contract that he's going to be in the Olympics during the middle of training camp, which is mandatory for everyone.
Yeah.
And that you actually, I don't know if people know this because people aren't knowledgeable about anything. When training camp starts, every day that you don't show up to training camp, you get fined a lot of money. You get fined at least 5 figures every day that you don't show up for training camp.
I don't think people view these sports contracts are almost like modern day slavery. Like I hate to say it like that, but it is. That's why people kind of make the parallels. But black people and owners, but it is the way you get fined for so much stuff in those sports. It's crazy.
5 figures every day that you don't show up. If he did not negotiate that in his contract for him to be at the Olympics, but the fact that he was even able to have the aptitude, I guess, would be, I mean, it's not commendable necessarily to think about putting that in his contract, but even to be good enough for them to accept the fact that they would allow for that to be in his contract should be something to highlight. And he doesn't have to pay 5 figures every single day that he misses training camp. When these people hold out and they're like, I'm not showing up to practice until I get my new contract, every day could be $20,000 that you missed that you're going to get fined. You're going to rack up $1 million real quick if you don't show up to a practice. $1 million is not light. Y'all will never see $1 million in your account ever in your life.
Yeah.
So to me,
Like
it's
he's
not
literally
far fetched.
sacrificing his professional career just to go support his wife. When
Which
there's
is
so many athletes there that are there right now that are husbands and wives, they just couldn't be there. Like you see, their family members are there, like the sisters, the
that didn't even
brothers,
pay to go over
but they
there.
couldn't even get there. Like yeah, and this man is literally sacrificing his own professional career that you guys are trying to clown.
Yeah, it's like the craziest thing in the world to me. It's again like our last show where we were talking about people being delusional. It's just people don't have like self awareness into the things that they're talking about. It's like this woman's happy.
Yeah,
She
like, that's
is
all that matters. We don't
professing her
care.
love for this person, and he does the same as well. He just gave a statement saying that he didn't know who she was, which is not far fetched, right? Because
Like I want those same people to tell me every single like star athlete of every sport.
tell me the male gymnast from before even this, because this is too easy, right? It's now social media.
Not
Tell
even
me the people
not even the male gymnast. Tell me the woman gymnast.
from
Okay, there was big, like there was like very like prominent women back, like dating back from like the 80s, 90s, like that were big.
you don't even have to go
like
that far.
Nastia.
They couldn't even tell you Tokyo.
Yeah,
They couldn't even tell you
yeah.
the Tokyo gymnast.
Who were the 5 people on the team?
Yeah, we know Suni, of course, because
Yeah.
they keep bringing that up. But tell me whoever else was on the team. Like,
Yeah.
right? It's not that
Tell
far
me,
fetched.
tell me 2008 Olympics. Tell me 2012 Olympics. Tell me 2016 Olympics. Tell me, like I said, the people who really put the U.S. gymnastics on the map, like back when it was Russia and the U.S. going back and forth. Tell me about those women, because those were just as like you see Simone just passed somebody's record. So tell me who that person was. You probably can't. So it's like, but you're mad that he didn't know.
Right, and it's not that far fetched for somebody to not know, just in the same way that people wouldn't even know any of the other
They
events.
probably
Right?
don't know who Marta is.
They
The
couldn't
infamous
tell you who was
gymnast
race.
coach, like who everybody.
They couldn't tell you who Usain was running against, right? They couldn't tell you most of these things, right? So it's not that far fetched for someone to not necessarily know who she was at that point.
Yeah.
He didn't say that, oh, like I'm better than her and she worshiped the ground that I walk on.
Yeah.
Nobody was ever saying these things, but it's the women that feel like they're the Simone Biles in their own story, which you're not. You could never, right? Honestly, there might not ever be another one.
Yeah. Like they think they're on the level of importance and they're projecting all this craziness that she's not even agreeing with. Like,
right, you guys are wrong.
You're not like
the person in Simone in this situation has the ability to dictate who's right and who's wrong. And if she's saying you're wrong, then you're wrong, and you should shut up because you look stupid, right?
Yeah.
You look stupid to people that have common sense.
And I know that one girl probably feels too because Simone literally commented and she tried to double back. Like she made a video responding to her comment like, oh, like it's always like how people will talk shit and then they're so in shock that the person responds and then they try to be like, I'm like, wow, I'm actually shocked that like you took the time to respond to me. Like I feel like she tried to be funny by saying that too. Like, wow, like you're Simone, like this is crazy. It's like now you're all of a sudden starstruck, but you're just talking shit about her husband. Like she don't like you. Like you made that video trying to be like funny, like and starstruck and like wow and take accountability, but she don't like you. She thinks you're a bird. She probably thinks you're weird. Like. And you are weird.
You are
like,
weird.
Like that's all this woman. Anytime she comes on my timeline, it's always negativity. And like this is why you're unmarried and bitter and not home. Like you're probably sex deprived or something. Like what are you so mad about? Like
I wonder that a lot.
Huh?
So I wonder that a lot.
Yeah, that has to be what it is. They're probably sexually frustrated. Their eggs are twisting and turning, wanting the baby so bad because they're getting to that age. They're realizing that they're not married the way they probably wanted to be at a certain age. And they're just projecting. It's just
they're expressing their frustration through other people's relationships as opposed to putting the effort towards getting a relationship of their own.
Because that's what it boils down to. People will swear that's not it. Like, oh, the world doesn't revolve around men. Not everything's about men. Not everybody needs a man to be happy. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But that is what you want. Like, let's stop the cap.
Because you know who isn't making these comments?
Happy people.
And I have another thing that we'll talk about after this, which will prove exactly the same point. The people that are in happy relationships are not sitting there talking about this situation.
People who like their lives.
People that like their partners. But the people that hate their partners, if they're in a relationship, and the people that are single are the ones that are having this conversation. Yeah. Everybody else is not having this conversation because they have more important things to do. People that have money don't have these conversations because they have more important things to do than worrying about somebody else's relationship. They're worried about connecting the dots, or they're just happy in the dots that they've connected so far. And that's really what it boils down to whenever people have these type of conversations where they feel like they can speak on people that they don't know's relationship that are multimillionaires and more successful and the top athletes that have ever existed on this planet. Yeah. And that's not their situation, but somehow they try to attribute that to them being their situation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's crazy. It's the delusion of it all.
Yeah.
You can never.
Literally. And that's why, the biggest controversy lately was him wearing her medal.
Yeah.
And that's what Simone said. Like, everybody wore the medal. Like, she said her mom wore the medal, her siblings. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, she put the medal on everybody. Like, her dad, like, but of course you see him wearing it. Now, that was the issue that people had. And that's what that girl made the video about. Like, why is he wearing the medal? Like, he's the one who did it. Like, why are you guys so angry? It's actually scary. Like, I wonder if they look at these videos. Like, you ever see like there's always like a joke where like babies are screaming and crying,
And
and
you gotta show
the
them.
parents record it, and then they show them the video of them crying, and then they're just sitting there like I wonder if these people look back at their videos and like, damn, I'm angry.
I don't think
What's
so.
wrong with me?
I don't think so because I think the people that
What the
have something wrong with them tend to always try to find a way to
justified?
justify
Yeah.
their feelings. And
Because
I,
that's crazy. The whole thing piece about him wearing her medal. Like, it's not, I don't think, like, he's just supporting his wife. Like, and it probably was her idea. Like, people do all the time when they graduate college. You ever see they put the cap and gowns on their parents? That's not far fetched to put the medal or put the cap and gowns on somebody that you felt like supported your journey. Like, her husband probably was a big part of her mental health boost. Like, remember, she got married after the Tokyo Olympics, and she said, like, her getting married, all that stuff helped her. Like, we don't know how many nights she might have been crying and stressed out about the stuff she was going through with her, when she was getting like the twisties and all the stuff she's happening around that time. He might be a big part to that journey, and she might feel he was a part of this. So you were gonna wear the medal in this picture because I feel like you were a part of my journey. But people don't have a concept of happy marriages and partnership. Like, they don't, because they don't have it. They don't see it because their parents didn't have it, and they don't have it. So they don't understand that concept of a husband being a rock for you and being somebody that helps you in your success. Like,
yeah,
it's literally mental illness and like misery. Like, you guys
yeah.
are literally freaking miserable.
Even I don't know if you know this, but I'm not an Olympian. I don't know if you ever noticed that. But for the things that I have accomplished, I've given you your credit for helping me through these things, right? I wouldn't have graduated with my bachelor's without you, for sure. Like, that's a known fact, and I wouldn't debate that. That's a fact. You give people credit where it's due.
Yeah.
So
like, nobody usually has success on their own. It's not like no
nobody
one could do anything 100% on their own.
nobody was up
Can't.
helping me freshman year, trying to make sure I pass the class to make sure I don't get kicked out of school. There wasn't anybody else. There's no debate about that. So if
And
I
people
wanted
don't
to
understand those romantic partners are usually there during your most vulnerable times of you trying to get success in life.
yeah.
Like, they're usually there. Like, those are the people that are there with you day in and day out. Not your parents, not your friends. Like, your partner who lives with you, who's literally there.
So if I wanted to put my cap and gown on you, then what? Now, obviously, it's not an Olympic medal, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The same concept applies, right? And anybody that has an issue with that, then you should seek help. To be completely honest,
Yeah.
I wish better for you. It's unfortunate that you feel that way.
Literally,
And
like, ugh, like I just,
it's
my
weird.
brain is
And it's-
having trouble
and it's
conceptualizing this.
The crazy part about it is that, like, what I saw today is that there's so many people that are still feeling that way.
Literally, like, they just posted her because she won the vote today, and people were still in the comments like talking about him. Like, that's even crazy that you're so hateful and deranged that you're even making her great accomplishments still around him. Like, you're the one centering him around her accomplishments. Like that, like, let that sink in. Like, that's the crazy part. People
Why are
look-
women like this?
I have no idea. Like, as a woman, I cannot tell you. Like I said, it literally for me, it just feels like misery, and it actually does feel like mental illness. I think social media and stuff, and I just feel like
It's definitely causing it.
it's definitely causing, like, this all to me feels like mental illness. Like, I think it has to do with it. And like, it's sad to see, and I hate seeing it so much, even like with some of the women like in my proximity, because I'm like, I just can't do this whole, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's just so crazy to me, and like how this separation that women love to make from men, like, they're so, like, you guys are so much different. Like, we're all just human beings at the end of the day. Yes, there's some differences biologically, hormonally, but at the end of the day, we're still all just humans who all still want love, still want happiness, still want the same things. And the way that people, like, women act like men are this whole different species. It's just literally just crazy. It's literally crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get why people don't want happiness and peace in their lives. That's what I don't get either. Like, why do you want misery? Why do you want to be mad? Why do you want to feed into negativity? Like, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I would say.
Sad.
Hopefully, everybody gets the help they need. Hopefully, everybody gets the relationship that they need as well. I feel
And
bad.
they probably won't, because they're gonna push the men away, because these mindsets that they have, all they're gonna do is put that onto the men in their lives and demonize the men in their lives, demonize every small thing they do.
it's
If
the
you're
men's
not perfect, then you're a manipulator, you're a gaslighter, you're evil. It's your fault. Even with like Cardi B being pregnant right now, they're saying it's Offset's fault because now they're getting divorced. Like, see, look what a man will do. He will take away all your best years and impregnate you while you're trying to have your success. Like, what? Like she wasn't there with her legs open too. Like I just don't. That's what I
Or
just saying.
Corday and
Yeah,
Osaka.
yeah. Oh yeah, Naomi. You see, she's not doing well ever since her and Corday. Like Corday knocked her up. Like you see how these men will take you away from your dreams. What? Like, why is it that in women's mind that men are these master manipulators? Like, there's just so like these wicked beings and they're able to manipulate and like yeah, I'm saying like manipulation is definitely a thing. Like people could definitely manipulate. Like people definitely do those things. But where is the accountability ever? Like me and you have been together and I've accomplished everything I want to accomplish. The only thing that's still pending is a CPA and that's my own thing. You pushed me probably before that more than me. Like you only get held back if you want to be held back. I'm not gonna blame a man ever for holding me back. Cardi B wanted to be pregnant. She busted it open and let that man impregnate her. Like you wanted to be pregnant. Nobody held her back but herself. Nobody in life could hold you back except yourself. And I hate how it's always who's to say Naomi didn't want the kid? Who's to say she doesn't even maybe she doesn't care about tennis anymore? Like why is it always this master manipulator man, like a puppeteer? I'm gonna get her pregnant on purpose since she can't play tennis anymore. Like what? Like you really sit here and think men are sitting here like conniving, like, okay, so let's see, I'm gonna get her pregnant. So then she can't play tennis anymore because I think she's outshining me as a woman and I just don't want her to be great. Like that's giving men way too much credit in my opinion. Like it's just mental illness. I'm telling you, it's mental illness.
Seek help, women. Seek help. Talking to you because you clicked on this video because
Yeah.
you probably need mental help
Probably do.
for sure.
But
Anyway,
yeah.
speaking of athletics as well, I meant to talk about this before when it happened, but we weren't even doing a podcast again since we're being lazy. But
Yeah.
this is another topic that's come up a lot of times, right? And this is a combination kind of, I mean, the big thing that started it was LeBron James Jr., or Bronny as we all know him, getting into the NBA because not necessarily because he doesn't have the skill to be in the NBA, because he definitely has NBA talent. Maybe he got in there prematurely more than he would have if he wasn't associated with LeBron being his dad. But that can't be debated, right? That's
Yeah.
like a you never know kind of
Yeah.
situation. But it's the whole concept of nepotism, and this came up again because people are finding out with Love Island, and I know that's a crazy blend of NBA and Love Island, but with her name's Leah, right? And her coming from a wealthy background,
Yeah.
and how people are now attacking her because they feel like she didn't,
Privilege.
she's privileged, she didn't deserve the opportunities that she got, whatever. So it's this whole concept of nepotism and people hating it so much. So I wanted to get my opinion on it, but I feel like I've been leading a lot of topics, and I know I'm springing this on you freestyle right now. But what's your opinion on that whole concept and the things that we've seen from people that don't benefit from nepotism and their opinions on it?
I feel like a lot of things what a lot of things boil down to in life is just like people being haters. Like even with the topics that we were just talking about, right? Like with Simone and just a lot of things in life. Like it all kind of boils down. Like even with the being Black American, right? Like a lot of things where anger and like comes from all boils down to, in my opinion, jealousy and like some type of like you're just a hater. Because I feel like so many people say what they would do if they had this money, what they would do, blah 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 blah. But it's like you're not there. You don't know what that's like having that. And like I know for a fact, so many people who act like they would be such like these activists and all these other things. If they were in those positions where they had the money, they wouldn't. Like they just want it. They just saying that because they don't have it, and they want to have a reason to talk down on somebody who has it. You know. So I feel like with nepotism, all you see online, like people love buzzwords. When the whole generational wealth thing became like a big topic, and people talking about like generational wealth, getting generational wealth, and like seeing people succeed from it. That's all everybody said they wanted. Like, oh, I want to have just generational wealth for my kids. Like, I want to work hard for them. Blah 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 blah. You see people online who are still living with their parents at 30 years old, bragging about it. Like, oh, you guys are just mad because my parents helped me. Like, basically, essentially bragging about having generational, in a way, like it's not generational wealth, but having generational help. Yeah, a lot of people don't have that luxury, right? So you'll see people bragging about it, right? And you'll see all those things, all the concept about how they want to do that for their kids and all these other things. But when people seeing that all the things that they are speaking into existence, that's probably not going to happen because they're lazy. So many people like to manifest and talk about things and instead of actually doing it. So you see so many people talking about the things that they want but are not actually going to succeed. They're seeing someone in real time benefiting from all the things that they claim they want to do. but then they're mad at it. So everybody wants generational wealth, but then they see somebody like a Bronny benefit from generational wealth. They benefit from nepotism. They benefit from a parent doing so great in life that they're able to like have like their kids succeed and like have their dreams, like all the things that they want in life, get there, accomplish their dreams. They're seeing it happen in real time and they're hating on it.
Yeah.
But then that's all you see in their tweets. Oh, I can't wait for my kids to live a luxurious life and blah blah blah. But when they're seeing a kid living a luxurious life, they're hating on it. So it's literally delusional. That's like the theme of this podcast: delusion, jealousy. Cause it's crazy. Like, is that not the goal in life? Is that not why you're working so hard? So like the next generation could have it a little easier. Like, for me, it's just crazy. Like, he's still proving himself. It's not like he's out there not doing anything. Like, some of the points that he's scoring is better than some of these people who don't have nepotism. Like, they're trying to clown him because he's not dropping 20. Like, I don't think people are necessarily expecting him to do that. Like,
Correct.
He's not gonna be like he's not gonna fill LeBron's shoes, and that's okay. But he's still a great basketball player. He's still putting up I think he put like 9 points or something recently. That's literally more than some people who literally didn't benefit from nepotism. Like, so like I don't understand. Like, it's just people are just haters, honestly. And like the same thing with Leah. Like, you guys will love to be from Calabasas, living in a luxurious house, and her parents are literally immigrants. Like, they literally, it's not like they were born into that. She's just the first generation, like, getting that benefit. Like, why are you guys mad about that? Like, she's supposed to just take away, like, go live on the streets and just not benefit from the life that her parents built. Like, it's people are haters. Like, that's all. They're mad because they're tweeting these things from somewhere in a low ceiling room, popcorn ceilings, like probably a 2-bedroom house. They probably share a room with maybe 2 of their other siblings. Their parents is like 2 feet from them in their room. Like, that's the people, like, we gotta remember that's the type of people who are sitting on here mad. Like, of course you're mad. You're hot and bothered. You're at home hot and bothered. You have no privacy, you have no space. You're in a cramped, small room, and she has this whole beautiful house. It's just that's what all it is. It's just jealousy. Yeah. The people swear they're activists. They swear it's just because she's privileged, and I just want her to recognize her privilege, and I just want her to help others. Like, why? She don't gotta do shit. She don't gotta do nothing. Like. Yeah. So it's just jealousy. That's all this. These people swear they care about humanity and they're humanitarians. At the same time, they're bullying people online. These humanitarians they care about the others, but all they're doing is degrading others. All ironic.
Yeah, I agree. It's the whole thing where people hate something that they don't benefit from, right?
Literally it.
Like, what it really boils down to is, of course, there's nuance and circumstance that all plays into why this might be the case, but people are upset because their parents weren't successful, or successful enough to help them in the way that another person's parents were able to help them. And that's really what it comes down to, because you don't see anybody that benefits from nepotism complain about nepotism, right? You also don't see other people that have done well enough for themselves to be happy complain about nepotism. Mm-hmm. Like, I would say we're benefits of nepotism in a way. Not even in a way, we just are, right? Like our parents worked hard to get what they got, and then
and our grandparents
we have
worked
a better
hard.
start.
We're just from a lineage of people who
every generation it gets better and better.
Like,
and better.
even us living in New Jersey is the results of our ancestors who came up here through the Great Migration. Like, the type of like hustle and tenacity it has to take for you to leave your family behind and move up here. Like, my grandma, she moved up here when she was 16. She did it on her own. Like, my 2 other like great aunts, they were up here too, but I think they all came at different times. Like, she literally left home alone and did it on her own.
Yeah, I feel
that's coming from a line of people who literally took risk and look at the output, like, And
that's what it should be. And I think that the anger is misdirected, right? Instead of being
mad at your parents.
Yeah, instead of being mad at somebody else's parents for them doing their job, be mad at your parents for them not doing their job. And I know there's a lot of circumstance, again, and nuance that goes in with that. We don't know what situations people were placed in. Mm-hmm. But in general, yeah, look at the situation my dad was put in. He was on welfare and food stamps. And now I'm not going to put out third income.
Yeah.
But it's up there. It's definitely up there. And it put me in a position to be up there as well and get multiple degrees and be in a luxurious apartment and pay for the significant ring and all that kind of stuff. All these different things that I've been able to afford. Yeah, the part of that has been due to nepotism because I benefited from it, right? But the people that don't benefit from it, they just have misdirected anger. Like, I'm not saying don't be mad, but be mad at your parents because they didn't put you in a situation.
That's why the debate comes. Like, people shouldn't even have kids if they're in certain situations. Like, it sounds harsh, but it's true. Like, why are you gonna bring your kids into freaking poverty? Like, that's so selfish.
Now, granted, I know that people's argument is going to be, well, there's some people that get opportunities and they don't deserve it, and they took it away from people that did deserve it. But unfortunately, that's part of the way that this all works, right? Like, if your parents put you in a situation, money, it comes with power, and power can get you certain things. And if your parents did have money and they had power, they could get you those same opportunities as well. And I understand that because we get some sort of nepotism benefit. There's nothing crazy.
I look, you got it with my current company I'm working at. Like, my mom works there, so she kind of put in the word. Like, that's a benefit.
That's a benefit.
Why would I not use that resource? Like, who wouldn't? You would be crazy not to.
Right.
Like, she just gave the good word. But my resume still had, like, they weren't just gonna hire anybody. So my resume still spoke for itself. Same with LeBron, like, and Bronny. They weren't just gonna bring any bum person in. Like,
because look at Michael Jordan's kid.
He's still putting the work in. Yeah.
He didn't end up anywhere.
Yeah, like, it's not like it's just like a handed to you because you have that connection. But a lot of times, like, you still have to have like the work ethic and the.
And even certain things that are handed to people, it's just
that's just what it is.
Right?
Like, I'm gonna hate on somebody for using their resources.
Yeah,
like,
because I'm not a billionaire's kid. I can't get just a lump sum of like $100 million.
Or
like,
a business passed down.
I used to live close to Rutgers University, and that's obviously the #1 university in the state in terms of just like public university. Obviously, we have Princeton, so but used to always see the foreign exchange kid and professor's kid or these kids, because my brother goes there. You would see the kids in the cars they pull up in, right? Like, that's
always a running joke about foreign exchange students. Like, they be dripped down, like they be coming to class with the Rolexes, and the
like, it's insane.
Louis Vuitton bags.
And I'm not a product of that. I didn't get that benefit. Like, but I'm not gonna also hate on it because
I
why,
admire it,
right? Like, that's fire. That's fly. Like, your parents did their shit, and maybe it's you, maybe you did it yourself, but either way, like, that's fly. Like, I'm not like, what would I look like hating on somebody else's success? That looks crazy to me. No matter how you got it, whether it was handed to you or you worked for it, I don't care, right? People try to bring up all these different things, like, Steve Jobs, his parents gave him $100,000. Good for them. And look what the fuck he did with it, right?
They did their job as a parent.
One of the most important companies of all human history.
So clearly he wasn't just some dummy. Like, he still was very smart, and he still was able to do what he needed to do. But that's why you have an iPhone right now in your hand.
I didn't get $100,000 loan, but what would I look like complaining about that?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me, right? So I'm a benefit of nepotism for sure, of course, as you should be.
Yeah.
But I'm also not as much of a beneficiary as some of these other people, but I don't hate on those people.
Yeah.
So that same logic should apply down, right?
Like hating's not. Like, I think what people need to do their little thick brains is that hating is not doing anything for your life. Like, you could spew all this hate, but at the end of the day, your life, like, you still gotta go to sleep and you're still you. That's what I just don't understand. Like, what do people gain? Like, that's why I've been wanting to ask people, like, all the time when I see them, like, leaving hate comments and doing stuff. Like, what are you gaining from this exactly? Like that's what my new favorite comment on Twitter. On TikTok. Somebody would say something like being a hater, and somebody would comment and be like, and the world's still spinning. Like, this one girl was like, I hate that this girl does this, blah, blah, blah. And then the girl was like, and yet the world is still spinning. Like, that's my new favorite comeback on TikTok, because it's like, people will say all this stuff. Nothing about your life has changed. Listen, you made that comment. Nothing about the person that you're sending hate to's life has changed. Like, they're still rich and you're still poor.
Yeah, like, because you see it all the time. Like, that's literally the goal, right? Like, this is what we're doing this for.
People literally put on their mood boards all this, like, yachts and travel and stacks of money. But then when you see people actually living the life that you want, you're mad.
Right, and you can get these things yourself and live that life for yourself without anybody handing it to you. But I don't know about any of y'all, if y'all care about your future kids or your current kids, but most of the benefit of the work that I'm putting in is not going to go to me. I'm going to benefit substantially, and I've done so already. But who's really going to benefit is my kids. It's not going to necessarily be me. Like,
like, you know, we plan our trips, like, in advance, and we was ready. We were already looking up into like 2027, and, like, you know, like, we're getting married in 2026, and we'll be 30 that year. So, like, we want to start having kids around then. And we were already talking about, like, oh, maybe the kid could come with us to Tokyo or come to us, you know, with these places. Like, look how we're already, like, looking forward to our kids benefiting from this work and, like, wanting them to travel earlier than I did. Like, my first trip out the country, I was 4. Like, I would love to bring, like, our kid when they're like 1 or less than 1, like, on these trips, even though they won't remember it, right? But just them being there, like, I know they'll, like, always respect that and, like, love that we, like, included them in these things. and just giving them the keys, and then they could be better than we are. Like, isn't that not the life goal?
That is literally the goal. And the fact that people hate on these situations,
Yeah.
and I get it, you're upset, and that's fine. Be upset, but be upset at your parents.
Yeah.
So redirect all that anger that you have towards somebody else because they landed on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Redirect that anger to your parents and be upset and ask them why they didn't put you in a Calabasas house. Don't put it on somebody else's parents because they put them in a Calabasas house. That just doesn't make sense.
Like, how you mad at somebody else's success?
Like, sorry, their parents did what they not. I don't mean to say it like that because like being a good parent is just making sure you can do everything for your kid. It's not measured in being 100 millionaire.
Yeah, no.
But at the same time, you're upset at what your parents did at the end of the day because if they did the same thing that their parents did, then you wouldn't be complaining, right? Mm-hmm. So you're saying what your parents did for you was not good enough and you're upset what your parents did for you. That's really what it is. You're upset with your parents. So be upset with your parents then, and then record that conversation or have that conversation, show us.
Yeah.
And just have that be that.
See how your parents feel about you being mad at them for not being rich.
On the phone that they're paying for.
Yeah. More than likely, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whole nepotism thing, like that's the goal. The goal is to be a product of nepotism or to be the person that provides the nepotism.
Yeah, and you made a good point too, like how like a lot of stuff that you work for, you're not even really even gonna see. Like even the whole concept of life insurance is so your people who are still alive are good. Like you don't benefit from life insurance. Yeah. And people be having $1 million policies. Like you when unfortunately someone dies and then you able to get the benefit from the policy, people be getting like millions of dollars off those policies. Like the person who took out the policy is gone. Like they're not even benefiting from that. So it's not the whole point of life. So it's just so I'm telling you, I be feeling like I'm an anomaly in this earth.
Yeah, like people want
truly
because what do you want to have kids to have your kid have the same life or worse life?
Some people do because some people are literally like that deranged that they be wanting their kids to be just as miserable as they were. Like, oh, I had to do this, so you got to do it. Like some people literally be putting that.
I got beat, so now I gotta beat you.
Now I gotta beat you. I had to do this. I had to help my parents pay the rent at their house, so now you gotta help me pay the rent. Like that's evil. You know how it affected you, and now you want your kid to deal with that. So some people are really like kind of weird like that, where they're so malicious that they kind of want their kid to suffer the same way that they did. So that's like some other level of like derangedness that I'm not really too familiar with, but it's just craziness.
Yeah.
So many messed up people in this world. Like I love life and I love being on this planet and like I love people. But I don't, at the same time, I don't like people. And I just feel like it's just like so unfortunate that this world is so like, I mean, I think the best thing to do is to like set boundaries, have your peace. Like I try to not to be on the internet as much these days because I like you called it out and I acknowledge it myself. I'm very self-aware, but it is, you know, it's like you're just so hooked sometimes that like even though you know it's bad, you're still like going. But like it's really just the internet because I feel like the second I'm offline and it's just me and you, like I'm like in the same bubble. Even when we travel and I'm not getting people's thoughts, I'm good. But once people start talking and I start hearing people's thoughts, and it really is just the people, uneducated people. Because sometimes people at work will be talking, and I'm like, okay, like you guys sound just as normal as I do. Because well, no duh, we're all in the same small percentage of people in this world who are educated, well traveled. So it's just like you gotta I gotta like work on setting boundaries with the uneducated weirdos in the world. Like whenever I have conversations with people who are like minded, who are in the same situation as me, educationally, like, you know, well-traveled, money-wise, then the conversations usually are a lot different. But I keep framing a lot of people that you're on the internet with as a majority. So once I'm separated from them, like, bring back segregation of skin. Bring back classism. No, I just mean, like, separate me from them. I need to be away.
From the whites?
No, the dummies from the smart people. I need to stay away. Like, that's all. Like, bring whatever system is created to keep us separated, I just need that to be enforced. I just can't be around those people.
Did they put that in one of the things when we were in D.C.?
What?
It wasn't the Bill of Rights, right? What was it? It was something. Remember, it was like we don't want no idiots.
Oh, yeah,
we don't want anybody. Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah, we need that.
We need no idiots, no dummies.
I believe in classism. Get me away from anybody who's just dumb and haters. Like I can't be around that negativity.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from a place of privilege. I'm not gonna not acknowledge being privileged in the sense of like what our parents did for us, but. Am I supposed to slip my wrist because of the life that I was born into? Like, what do you want me to do?
The one thing is where I can speak about from my dad's perspective. Obviously, he grew up in a terrible situation. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I should say terrible. I'll let him put the actual adjective on it. Mm-hmm. Extremely less than ideal situation government assistance and everything else. Never once in my entire life have I ever heard him complain about what his mom did for him. Never. Literally never. There was no complaining about some other kid with nepotism. There was never nothing about any of that.
Yeah.
Even to this day.
If anything, the type of stuff like when your dad talking about it, if anything, he kind of like admired it. Like he was talking about like the clothes, like how girls were clowning him because like the same outfits and like how he would see, like he would kind of like talk about like other people, like, and it almost sounded like it was just like admiring. It wasn't even hating. It was like, oh, like the kids had the cool stuff and they had cars and this and that. It was not. It was like not an ounce of hater when he talks about those
never.
things.
And his brother had better stuff than him, and he never talked bad about that or whatever. Like there was never any sort of attack on other people that significantly benefited from nepotism or had a better upbringing. Never once was there ever a complaint about what his mom did for him ever, right? And we talked about this concept before, with people that have a positive outlook on things and do positive things and don't speak negatively about other people and don't move based off negativity, their lives pan out a certain way.
Exactly.
And obviously, again, I'm very sensitive about putting their financial situation out there because he wouldn't want me to, but it's significant and there's a reason for that, right? We've said on this.
It's crazy too. I feel like even he be like,
Damn.
yeah,
He
like
says
when
all
me
the
and him
time.
were talking at your cousin's baby shower, I think. Like he be like saying like he was talking
Shit
about
is
like
crazy.
the checks. He's just like it still feels crazy. Sometimes he was like, have you seen them checks? Sometimes he's like, it's just whoa. Like he's still like in shock because it's like but like you said, it's like this humility that he's always had throughout
Right.
his life, and obviously his life reflects that. Like being a hater just gets you nowhere in life.
Yeah, because imagine he hated
Yeah.
and put
And
all his
focus on
that.
instead of like focusing on building his life the way he built it. Like
Meanwhile, I got arcades, pool tables,
Yeah, like
home gyms, all types
movie,
of shit.
yeah.
Movie
theater.
projectors and
Yeah.
theaters and all kinds of stuff in that in the house.
Yeah.
So
And obviously the house is valued, but it's valued like that's not like that's anybody would boast about the
fucking
house.
7-figure value on the house.
Yeah, over $1 million. Like and anybody would be like, oh shit, like I like basically you are a millionaire technically, right? Like
You are.
and I'm sure that just money wise that he's made throughout his life, he already passed that, right? But it's like I don't know what his retirement money looks like, but it's like you wouldn't even get that vibe from him at all.
Ever. Never in your life. Not in the clothes he wears, not in nothing.
Yeah.
And never was he
a hater.
A hater.
Yeah.
Never.
Cause I do feel like people who hate on stuff, they don't even have the time. But like they're so focused on the internet making videos, they're not even like focusing on their own lives. Like so much of this parasocial stuff, I really do feel like people are not focusing on their own lives. Like I feel like we're gonna see a uptick in like people literally not doing shit with their lives. It's
for sure.
Cause they're just so focused on living through everybody else's and hating on everybody else's that instead of getting the life that they want, they're fixating on the internet.
Even to the extent where the internet is a ATM machine, right? Like we're not hating on anybody ever. Never in my life would I ever hate on anybody because statistically I'm doing better than most people. So what would I hate on?
That's a statement I want to make. Like I've never, because I feel like people out there will try to throw someone being a hater. Like I just want to make that clear for anybody out there listening. I've never hated on a single soul on this earth. There's nothing a single person has looks like whatever that I wanted to look like or wanted to be or wanted to have.
Yeah,
just want to make that clear because people will swear that people try to throw that hater card on people when they don't like you.
I think hating is speaking negatively about something or someone
for no reason.
For no reason, and they're doing something that you can't do, and that's definitely not.
And that's not true.
Definitely not.
Not true at all.
I shit on everybody that I'm doing better than.
Clearly.
And
that's a conversation for another day.
Mostly for good reason. Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's crazy.
And they're definitely like we're gonna see a huge uptick in people not doing anything.
We don't talk shit about people, but you can tell the mentality difference even in if I'm going to speak my opinion, because I don't have Twitter, and when I use Instagram that's just pictures, so that don't count. But I don't have any sort of I don't record videos and talk about my opinion on Instagram either, and I don't have a TikTok. So I don't have much social media at all. So the mentality is even different, right? Because there's people that are professional haters and they get paid to be professional haters. Like Skip Bayless, for example, has made millions of dollars being a professional hater.
Tasha K.
I mean, she's not a good example because she got sued, but Skip Bayless.
But I'm saying like she made her whole claim to fame is being a hater and talking shit.
But the mentality is even different, because if I'm going to shit on people, I'm going to shit on people on a platform that, we're 4 subscribers away from getting paid for.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been paying attention. Where are we at?
We're at 464. I'm sorry, 494. Or 490. I'm sorry. What did I just say? We're at 496. I'm all over the place.
It's 500 now?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I never realized the rules changed. Because it used to be 1,000 back in my day.
Yeah, they changed it.
Back in my day.
They added extra criteria, but it's 500 subscribers or like
The watch time, right?
yeah,
Oh, okay, cool,
whatever.
cool. I haven't been paying attention.
So
Good for us.
if I'm going to give my opinion, the mentality is even different. That I'm going to give my opinion on a camera and sit in front of people and risk being judged and everything else to get paid. Other people are just being haters on the internet
On
for
a burner
free,
account.
giving Elon Musk more money because you're a user and they're going to put you in a stockholder share report saying we got X amount of users. But that's the difference, right? The mentality is even different. So people are complaining about nepotism and people getting money when you're not even trying to monetize your own opinion.
Yeah.
So it's, the mentality is different, but
That's why I do respect a professional hater. I will respect the Tasha K and the Skip Bayless just because at least they're monetizing their hate to get the lives that they want. I will respect them more than I will respect a person on the internet just hating.
yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Because hating with money is different than hating with no money.
Yeah. Cause
And money's
I'm
not
sure they know
everything,
they're a
but-
hater too, but they're like, all right, it pays the bills.
Yeah.
But you just hating just to hate. Like, are you not embarrassed?
It's crazy. Oh, anyway. That's all I got for today. You got anything
Yeah,
else
but
you
did we
want to bring
cover
up?
all the ground? I feel like we covered a lot of recent stuff, right?
Is there anything else going on?
What is going on beside the Olympics right now?
Pretty much nothing.
Yeah, the main controversy obviously was, I mean, I guess Cardi B's pregnant and filed for divorce, but I'm not really a big fan of Cardi B or
Yeah,
don't really care about her sympathy and payola to get, that was crazy, right?
That was insane. You got the sickest timeline.
My timeline is literally insane.
You sick. We're going to talk about that when we get off.
I'm not sick.
When we get off of this.
Oh my God,
But
they're
yeah.
talking about the documentary for Forex. You think they're gonna do that? You think they're gonna make a documentary on Forex?
They're going to talk about, man, let's talk
It's
about
been
Forex.
4
Let's bring it
years.
back up.
It's funny because we made a video
We did make a video.
like 2020,
Yeah.
like in the mix of it happening in real time. Like if you wanna, I mean, you guys should just go to his channel. You'll see it.
Whatever happened to those Forex people?
They're all in the same position in life that they were in when they were telling us all that we're all dumb for working 9 to 5s.
What kind you say? I went to Cheesecake and now he my motherfucking waiter now.
That's the funny part. I mean, I just remember them pushing this whole like, look, we travel, this and that. And they was going to like the Caribbean. Like they were trying to shit on 9 to 5s. I've been to like since all this Forex stuff happened, we've been to like 7 countries. Like you guys are not doing shit. Like all you guys are still sticking to the same Caribbean, Mexico trips. Nothing spectacular.
And
we said that back then before
Hold on.
we were even doing the
Time
trips
out.
because we
'Cause-
just saw through it.
I know some people might be like, oh, 7 countries. Nah, they
Since.
we've been to places that people will never see in those 7 countries.
And we're going to Bora Bora in
because
2026,
it's,
which nobody.
what were
will
the
ever go
company?
to.
What were the countries? We went to Bali,
Indonesia.
Singapore. Well, Indonesia is the country.
Singapore, the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Where else?
We went to. I mean,
Antigua.
technically, we went to France, Antigua,
We're about to go to
Jamaica.
France.
Well, I mean, we stopped in
Yeah, we
France.
stopped in France. Yeah,
It don't count, but
Yeah.
it count.
Jamaica, Antigua, Saint Martin, the Bahamas, Canada, but that's just a little. bit
Canada
further.
don't count. We're going to touch down in
Yeah.
Iceland
Yeah,
later.
which shall be my second time. Going to France. We have Japan in our radar in the next few years. We have Bora
In addition,
Bora
we've
in our
done
radar.
domestic trips as well, but we don't need to get on into all that. For bottom line,
No, but it's just that was just a funny thing because they tried to push that and they like it's almost the same way how we say like the things that's happening in the media and politics. It works for simple-minded people. So the Forex thing worked for simple-minded people. They were, of course, people who never been no place are going to be amazed by a trip to the Caribbean. But that shit wasn't working on me. That was like what we were trying to make. What we were basically trying to say back then was like. What you guys are saying is not working on me because I'm not stupid. I can see through the shit. I know what a pyramid scheme is. I'm not impressed by a trip to freaking Caribbean. Like I'm not. Like so that was like the point I was making back then. Like not
yeah,
you know,
and doing nothing while you're there either.
yeah, sitting on it like 30 people to a room. Anybody could do that. Like
I've been swimming out with the turtles.
yeah, they don't even do nothing. They don't even be snorkeling. All they do is
anything.
sit in an all-inclusive resort and maybe take a catamaran boat ride or something, or a little rent a yacht boat or something. That's it.
We were in the jungle swimming.
Literally.
But yeah, there was nothing impressive about that, and I'm not gonna stay on this topic forever because it's dead. It's just hilarious that all of the people that tried to money shame people, and I make more than all of them.
Literally.
Job shame. You work a 9 to 5. There was nothing about any of those people. And the funny thing about it is the people that did try to recruit me, that I was doing better than them at the time when they were doing it. I was doing better than them prior to them reaching out.
Yeah.
I was doing better after them. Like always been doing better than them that
Yeah.
entire time. So that whole like thing was funny with certain people reaching out.
And
I'm
the
like,
people reaching out to me was such an insult to our intelligence. I mean, maybe back then it still
reached
felt
out to everybody.
Yeah, and it still felt like a level like playing field because it was like 2020. Like
And it still
we were
wasn't,
just
but-
we were like, you know what I mean? Like we were just out of college. Like no one really got to see us do our thing. It was COVID, so they didn't really get to see us do our travel thing because we couldn't. But if they try to reach out to me now, like if this stuff was happening now, I'll be so mad. I'm like, I actually probably would respond like, I'm like, are you serious?
yeah.
Do you see the way I'm living? You think I'm gonna take your advice and you still living at home?
I saw people reach out, seen them in public. They were serving drinks. Like no,
Yeah, like-
I'm like no. I was never signing up. Like what happened to all that? Where's the Rolls? Where's all the luxury vehicles? Where is all
That
of
shit
it?
was actually like were they not embarrassed? Like remember they used to do the thing, they used to be like,
I don't know what that was.
when they used to
They
like
had lightsabers.
no, like they used to like be promoted when people were promoted, whatever, to like their high level. And they used to be celebrating. They used to like kind of have the bottle, and they used to be like this would be the person. And they'd be like,
So they
all of them were
knighted
like,
people with the bottle.
And they used to get like go anthem, and then like pop the bottle. Like they would, it was just so corny.
Gotcha.
and
I'm glad
so
I missed
whack.
that
They
one.
swore they was in like the NFL or something. Like I don't know.
I'm glad I missed that one.
This shit was
What were they?
so
Level?
crazy.
What were they? Level 900?
Yeah,
Whatever
P1000.
the- P1000. That's
The biggest accomplishment of my life.
I know.
Like
Now what? Give me my breadsticks and get the fuck out my face.
it was crazy. I held back so much back then. Like I was trying so hard. Like even when we made our video, 'cause I had new people personally, and I was like, I didn't want to offend people, but I was
Yeah,
like,
I feel
come
bad.
on, like, are you guys really that freaking slow? Like, what are you doing? It's just
I get it, right? Desperate times call for
Desperate
desperate
times.
measures, but
the easiest
it's better,
people to get in those pyramid schemes are the desperate people. Like,
better to never be desperate.
I just think like it's like it scares me. Like people literally be at the events crying. Like I'm like.
Yeah, it's like the people. It felt like church seminars.
No,
Like
literally,
people were
it's like
catching the Holy
cultish.
Ghost. It was
Yeah.
definitely a cult, for sure. There were of course some people that made off because
They were smart.
they were the ones executing the pyramid scheme and they made off.
Yeah.
So good for them. Y'all got scammed, but everybody else that was paying subscription fees for somebody else's Rolls Royce, I hope you all feel better. Hope you all feel better about yourselves. I mean, you're probably in a worse situation now than you were before, and it's just
And the reason why I don't feel bad though is just because how they were talking down on others.
they were talking crazy to people. They weren't talking to me that way.
No, yeah,
but they were
but-
talking to some other people crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't want to be, you're gonna be broke forever the rest of your
You
life.
broke, you working 9 to 5, you work for other, you work for the big man.
You a slave.
Yeah, you a slave to the system.
I know.
You a slave to the system. You a slave to that guy. What was his name? Something Terry, the guy who owned the I Am Academy. Like,
The white guy.
yeah, they swore they were entrepreneurs when they're just they call them an independent contractor. You're just a contractor of this man and his
You're no
company.
different than
You're not
Uber
no
Eats.
entrepreneur. Like, yeah, literally, you're Uber Eats. That's the same concept.
You're
I
Uber
set my
Eats.
own hours. I set my own hours. Okay.
No, you don't. You was up there DMing.
Like-
You got to DM people for 8 hours,
Yeah.
8 hours straight.
Like slavery. You talking about me a slave? At 5 p.m. I'm home. I'm in the bed. Like my day is over. I shut my laptop. It's over. And that's the thing. Like I could sympathize with people who sometimes fall for stuff and they were manipulated. But I could just the reason why I can't, like I said, with them is just because how crazy they were talking.
They was
Like,
talking crazy.
and anybody that was trying to save them, they was like talking smack and like, all right, you got it.
Especially to me, right?
Yeah.
I didn't take it as an insult, but it made it more comical because I'm like, you're talking to me,
Yeah.
right? Like it was so funny because they were talking about
Right.
travel. I'm like, I'm in Area 51 right now.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
on alien Wi-Fi.
travel.
I'm on alien Wi-Fi right
Like, let's
now.
go
and you're
trip for
talking to
trip.
me.
Let's go trip for trip. One by one. You tell me, and let's see who has the more extensive list. Since you're so well traveled, do Forex money.
Bank account versus bank account. We can do anything.
Literally,
And I'm not rich.
retirement account versus retirement account.
Bank account versus bank account. It
Debt
could
for
be
debt,
anything.
debt for debt, debt to equity ratio, debt to equity ratio, credit score to credit score. Like,
Car to car, apartment to house, house to apartment, whatever you want to do. Whatever comparison for,
Like, this
for
shit
the
was
people that were
aggravating.
talking, right?
Yeah.
And it was, I didn't take it offensively, but it was just funny when people were reaching out.
I was mostly offended and just like laughing at the people that we knew personally who like I'm not fond of because of past trauma, because like they look stupid, and I was just like,
Name them right now.
I'm not gonna name them, but it's just like I already don't like you because you're a weirdo.
Tell me
And
the
then-
letters it starts with.
No.
Let's be
But it's
messy.
like I already don't like you. I feel weird towards you because you're a weirdo who like support your friend, but don't be a weirdo, and still interact with me. But it's like I already kind of view view down on you, no offense, but and then you join an organization like that and start to talk shit about people like me, I'm just gonna kind of laugh at you because like I already don't like you and your life kind of reflects who you are. Anyway,
hold on. Let me check people's LinkedIn real quick.
people's lives do be reflecting who they are,
Let's see.
whether it be romantically, mentally. That's another thing too. People could be winning at life in other areas, but their mental is in shambles, and you're gonna lose in some areas when you're just not a kind person. And those people were losing successfully, and I don't feel bad because they're not nice people. Oh, that's ironic. That's literally who I'm talking about.
I know. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, you searched it?
Yeah, pretends to be shocked.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all.
I getting close to tripling her income.
Yeah. Karma. It's not karma. But it's just,
she's a what?
I don't know. You know, people be adding fluff to their LinkedIn to try to sound like there's something. What is that?
Yeah, no. One of the people that we're looking
That's who I was talking about.
Yeah, I
You be
almost
knowing
more
me.
than triple her income.
You be knowing me.
So no. So it's just funny. Where did they all ended up? They all ended up either in the same place that they were previously or worse.
I just find that so funny. Like in life, a lot of people who just talk shit and like were rude to us or just were shady and weird, they all are bums.
That's why they were talking.
All of them.
Like I was talking about earlier, if I would go to my high school reunion.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And it's not because I have any like nobody ever really did anything that crazy to me that I would have any hatred towards anybody. Like they really didn't. Like I'm perfectly fine, and I don't think I'm better than anybody necessarily, but it's more so like I know what I've worked for. I graduated 2014. Well,
yeah, 10 years ago.
I graduated 2014, and it's like the 10-year anniversary right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what I've done in those 10 years, and it's been very significant. I was actually just thinking earlier, I'm like, the difference between after next week when I get all of this money, and the difference between 2024 and 2023 is going to be very substantial. I don't want to say a number.
The difference is actually really going to be insane.
It's going to actually be nuts.
Yeah.
Because what she already told me, it would be,
I can't wait.
Actually, there's so much I can't even do. What's the math on that? I think it's if you look under the camera, extra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from last year, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't want to show up to these things,
I know.
especially with some people that.
Could have anything too. Like if people, I feel like my whole thing is I feel like people low key had animosity towards us, like either individually or together, when we were all kind of on a leveling playing field. In a way, a leveling playing field, right? Because we did have like we said, our benefits from like our home lives and that nepotism stuff, right? That people were probably hating on back then. But I just feel like you just know now if people were already kind of like feeling away towards a lower level of you, like it's just there's no benefit to you showing up in those places. Like if anything, it's just uncomfortable. I sometimes feel uncomfortable when I'm around like people who like might probably do potentially feel away. Like of course you have people who you know are happy for you, but then you have people who you know probably aren't. Like and it's just like what benefit is going to be for me to be around people who aren't my friends, who might not really be happy for me. It just might be uncomfortable and be sweating me the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know some people that reached out about the Forex thing that would be at the reunion. And
yeah,
it's just like this is weird.
It's almost like you're trying to save them from the embarrassment, like because they're probably gonna be embarrassed. Like, oh, I was trying to reach out to him, look at how he's living. Maybe I should have followed his blueprint instead of trying to take the easy way out.
You know what the funny? Actually, I might even say that because they would know exactly what I'm talking about if they ever watched it. Oh. Never mind. I can tell you off camera. If you remind me, I'll tell you off camera. But
yeah, life is ironic like that though. That's something I had a realization on.
You know, fuck it.
That's when I know I'm on the right side of life because like I just know.
It's the people that may have slighted me at some point and then asking for a job now.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh. Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, life is funny like that.
Where did they all end up?
Oh, that's the thing. Like I'm telling you, we had one former friend who has had success in life, right? I'm not gonna say like they haven't, but it's like I just feel like the majority of people who have like really have been shady, weird, just I don't know, thinking I don't know.
Thinking they're saying something,
Yeah,
that they
thinking
were
it,
doing something,
yeah, like trying to
the
talk shit.
partying.
Yeah, thinking,
The craziest part about that, especially to us of all people, is that we
yeah,
don't even be bothering nobody.
I know.
We just be
Like,
saying out the way. I don't even go outside.
and like that's the thing too. I be knowing stuff like that eats people up. Like when you kind of hate it on somebody, and then like, or maybe hate our relationship, and just thinking that we weren't gonna work out to it being what it is now. I know, like, oh, I just know it eats it. It eats at them. It has to, because there's just no way that you shaded somebody or thought you was saying something, thought you was better than them, thought you was like thought a little clicky college thing meant something in the grand scheme of things, and seeing now like what really matters in life, we're excelling and you're not. All the shit that you thought was cool, clicky, mean girl shit in college didn't do anything for you in life. Like, what did it do for you? So it's just, I be feeling like it's karma. Like, I believe in that stuff. I feel like the energy you put out is what you get back. And I feel like all I've done was put good energy out. And like, I've had my mishaps. I'm not perfect, but I feel like I've always led with positivity, kindness, and it shows in my life. And I feel like anybody who talks shit about me, old friends who hated on me, their lives suck from what I see. So, I'm not gonna like sit here and lie and say like I don't like randomly people. Cause like I just think it's human nature, right? So I don't do it like a lot, right? But it's like sometimes like, you kind of be like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. Like, just I wonder.
I don't even
It's
wonder. I just know. Like I just know, right? Because
it's nothing
it's very like,
nothing admirable. That's
not
what I
that
have to
people
say.
can't turn their lives around, but people
I
don't.
just they don't, and after
So
a certain
I can
point too,
assume.
it gets harder. Like we're getting to our 30s, and it's only gonna get harder. So if you haven't set those foundations in your early 20s, like we all should have, it's only gonna get harder. Like my 401k is extensive right now, and like if they haven't started a
Extensive is hilarious.
401k, no, I'm saying if they haven't started a 401k at this point in life, you're already behind, and because there's no way to catch up ever with that because of compounding interest. Unless you drop mad money on it, there's no, you can't catch up. So I'm already ahead of you in that area in life. So yeah, people could definitely. It's never too late. I'm not saying like and that's the thing. You could be talk crazy, right? And some of these people could be like a millionaire in like 10 years. So life is funny like that, right? But it's just based off statistics and likelihood is not likely. And I just find it like ironic. Like none of that stuff mattered. Like all the clickiness and
End up nowhere.
end of nowhere, or it's just like the shadiness. Like, cause my biggest thing I hate is when somebody like they're being shady and they're like, oh, I wish you all the best. Like, no, you don't. And look, I didn't need your wishes. Maybe you needed that. You should have wished that for yourself and not me. Life is great. It's real great. So, but yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm pressing, but like I'm keeping up with like people from my past. Like I'm just saying, like it would be like randomly once in a blue moon, where it's like, I think it's just human nature. I feel like me admitting that is real because people won't even admit that, and people do it a lot. So I'm being real. Like yeah, like I think people be wanting to check in with the ops sometimes and be like, what they up to?
I'm an alien, and I wouldn't even want to give people the satisfaction of like, because
Yeah,
where
that
I
energy.
would want to think that, I wouldn't want to in my mind have somebody be like, oh, I know he checking for me, or like, and hopefully a male wouldn't be talking like
Yeah,
that. But
I see what you
wouldn't
mean.
like, I wouldn't want in their mind to be like, I know they're probably looking at my page
Yeah,
and blah
they
blah blah blah.
press. Yeah, I see. I get
I'd
that.
rather them think that on their end, and I would never know, and me also to not ever be checking for them. Like I wouldn't even
Yeah.
want to give people the satisfaction, because I feel like I believe in classism in a sense, like not in the things that impact people negatively, like harmful things that are done to people because of class, but in the sense that I feel like I'm trying to work myself into certain classes so I don't have to ever think about or go back to the classes where I was in previously. So because I keep continuing to work hard for what I get in life, and I put myself further and further in the game of life, I don't ever want to look back and like give attention to past situations or scenarios. So I wouldn't even want to give anybody that satisfaction where I have all this success, but now I'm still looking back at like this person and what they said
Yeah, that's true.
before.
And like
Like,
them feeling like they got a hold on you.
yeah, like Tyler the Creator, when he won the Grammy, but he liked this person's comment for years ago and was like, "You'll never win a
Yeah.
Grammy," and then he went back once he won it, and then like was shitting on him.
Yeah.
Like that was great and I loved it, but I am more on the side of not even give them that energy, win the Grammy, and let them. I was gonna say something very not politically correct, but let them deal with that on their own and deal and internalize that. Because I mean, more often than not, they're probably not gonna even remember that they said that. But if they did remember that they said that, I'd rather them
Yeah.
go deal with that internally and burn up inside and be
Yeah.
upset than to me going back and looking and
Feeding
giving
into
you
it. Yeah.
attention, even if you would never know that I gave you the intention. me, even in my private time when nobody's around and nobody knows what I'm doing, I'm not even going to give these people that level of attention because I've done too much to better myself and move and advance in life than to give these people that attention.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But of course, obviously, I understand you. I'm just an alien in that sense.
No, and I feel like that's the goal. You know, like I'm not like for me, like it's not like I do like a lot, right? And it's like it's not even like I even have the intention of doing it again, you know. But it's just like the time, like if I had the curiosity, it was like funny because it's like it's almost like I know like intuitively just the type of people that they are or were, that they're likely to not even get on that path of success. So it was almost like I just wanted to confirm with how I was really feeling. I'm like, okay, like I know one of them was in school like 7 years when we were still friends. Like, so she's more than likely not doing anything significant in life. Like, that's just the patterns, right? So it was almost like just getting reaffirmations of like, okay, this person low key was a hater, low key didn't support you. So yeah, maybe in some weird way, it does make me feel a little bit more just like, what's the word? Not justified, but like more like.
Justified is probably the right word.
Yeah, like just in how I felt about them. Like I felt like they were haters, and now like I'm seeing like their lives are what they are. Like clearly they were haters. Like, and they're still not doing anything. Like it makes me even feel more justified in the friendship ending. I'm like, okay, if they were hating back then when I was just a little 21-year-old college grad, I can't imagine them being my friend now. They'll probably try to kill me. Like literally, they probably try to poison me. Okay, I'm not gonna put that on them, but I'm just saying like I couldn't imagine. It makes me more okay. Like I'm more like okay, like it's good that they're out of my life because I can't imagine how they would feel about me now. It kind of just makes me feel more justified in my decision on cutting them out in some weird way. So,
yeah.
But I don't like making them feel like they have any type of hold on me because that's not the case. It's just more so like
They do.
Well, I don't think that's abnormal to say that anybody who's done you wrong in life has an impact. But
I want you to let that hold go, but recognize that it is a
No,
hold.
I
It
do.
is. Checking on people, all that kind of stuff. It is a hold, and you should grow outside of that, even if somebody has wronged you.
I know.
You should.
I like
I get it.
laughing at people's people who hurt me. I like seeing them fail. I'll be real. I'll say that. I like seeing it. I like seeing them. It's
I do.
I'm being real to admit it. I think a lot of people feel that way.
my
Like,
bad.
'cause that's why people check on their exes sometimes. Like, they want to see their exes being miserable. Like, some people say they love seeing like their exes like go through a breakup, like through their current girl. Like they'll and it's not a good thing to do. It's a little bit deranged. That's why my people being deranged. A little bit deranged, but it helps with the healing. Because obviously I have a layered friendship traumas. So it helps with healing when I feel like somebody looks worse than they did when we were friends and I look better. I feel like if their lives look like they suck, if they're not really succeeding and they're still living with their parents, that type of stuff does make me feel a little bit like, okay, they messed me up. So I'm kind of happy that they're living in what I feel is karma.
I think the difference. Well, I don't know if I feel that way, but let's assume I did feel that way. I think it's also helpful because you just know that that's the case.
Yeah, because
You know what I mean? 'Cause,
statistically,
like,
you
more
know you're
often-
living
yeah.
in a rare situation. Like, you know you're living in, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. My life should just be enough of a testament onto, like, I don't know. That's why I like it. It just makes me laugh because I'm like, I look good. My life is successful. I'm in a successful relationship. I'm engaged. Like, all these people want to be married and have kids and start these families, and it's not happening for them. And I think it's funny because I'm living everything they want. In every aspect, I'm living the life that they want, and they're not. And that's what they get for being a hater and being evil. But I'm gonna grow out of it. I swear I will. Like, I'm definitely like trying to heal from that. Like, all jokes aside, I am, because it's like, but I just be so like mad because I feel like like I said, I'm not perfect. I've definitely done like some, I'm not the best communicator. There's a lot of things that I'm not good at, but I don't think I deserved the type of stuff I got from people. Like, I don't think I'm like evil. I don't think I move weird. Like, I don't think I was like led with any type of negativity. I didn't plot on nobody. I don't have any ill will, any bad intentions ever. So, of course, I'm gonna be. I feel like no one really got a chance to understand me, try to get to know me, and try to like. I feel I don't know. Even like the more minor stuff that happened with friends, like I feel like it just all wasn't warranted. So the mean evil devil on my shoulder likes to feel vindicated in their failure and struggles.
Yeah.
But I identify that as an issue, so I'm gonna work on it.
Yep. Fuck y'all Forex people.
Yeah, but how did we get from Forex to that
And
to a
that's
little
it.
mini therapy session?
Anything else you got for today?
No, I think this high noon is starting to hit, so that's probably why I'm acting a little crazy.
Time to go. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a Couple of Things podcast where we talked about a couple of things. And as always, we will see y'all.
Maybe next week. Wait, what's next weekend? Are we in from next weekend? We have Party Next Door concert, and you have a wedding.
Yeah, we are.
You come back from the wedding?
No, before.
What time's the wedding?
Late. I ain't
Them
gonna be
Indian
back till
people love weddings.
First of all,
this is actually a
that
compliment.
sounded
To them.
crazy.
No, I'm saying this is actually a compliment to them. Like Indian people know how their weddings be crazy. I
4
really
days.
wish I was coming. If
4
they be
days.
knowing how to turn
It's late
up.
though. I ain't gonna be back till like 3 a.m.
Where is it?
New York.
Like New York City?
Nah,
Upstate?
I'll tell you off camera. I want people to know my whereabouts.
I want to call.
I'm famous out here.
But I'm scared though, 'cause I don't want you to be like out and drunk and stuff and trying to get back home late.
I'm responsible.
I know, but
I'm just take
I
the
want to
helicopter.
come. Can you tell me to get one more seat? You can't squeeze me.
I asked him. He said, nah. Because it's already.
I've never been to an Indian wedding.
I was gonna be lit. I'm being there. My
I hope I meet an Indian
Traditional.
friend before.
Indian garb.
But you really have to wear Indian stuff? No.
I was going to, but I'd rather
I wouldn't.
not risk it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I feel you could just get away with like a nice sleek black.
No, he was like, yeah, I want. He was like, honestly, I want people to get fly. So he said he wants everybody to go crazy. I'm going there with my grills on.
Or
Like,
they try to keep you there and make you stay overnight.
keep me there. Keep me
Yeah.
where?
Is there like a hotel? 'Cause I know some people, like my
Nah.
one coworker, she had her like wedding at a hotel,
Nah,
and people stayed there at the hotel.
it's not gonna be that.
Is the reception day 4? Cause don't they do their stuff with their traditional stuff, like with their families stuff? Cause like this one girl at my old job, she was telling me like the ceremonies, and she was saying like the stuff with the families and like they do their traditional stuff. So the reception the last day, like the one that you're going to, is that the last day?
Nah, I feel like there's one after.
Dang.
I feel like there's one Sunday.
So we'll see when we end up recording during the day.
Yeah.
Saturday.
And as always, we will see y'all
Next week. I'm hot. Oh, look at